10-1. 24. 10-1, 24.
Oh, it's the first of the month.
Adding integers, day 2. We spent a couple days on adding because it's so important. Adding is probably the most important one compared to the other ones. You will be doing this in high school. This is math that you'll need in high school as well. So you want to make sure that you understand it, you learn it this week, so you'll use it in high school. And math will be easier in high school because you learned it with me. Some of you learned it last year. So we'll see. Okay, if I give you the numbers negative 68 plus 52, these numbers are a lot bigger than yesterday, right? Way bigger, Tiffany. We're right here.
16.
It's a lot bigger. So, cool. Can someone tell me, what do I do? Because I do not want to sit here and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, all the way to 68, right? Can you imagine how long that's going to take?
Like 2 minutes.
Totally. So we don't want to do that. So, Tadeo, what do I do?
Subtract 2 numbers.
Why?
Because one of them is positive and one of them is negative.
Very good. So he is telling me that I have to subtract, and I asked him why. And he said the rule perfectly. If the signs are different, you were going to subtract. So these 2 numbers are different. So you're going to subtract. Perfect. Very good. Some of you remember that from 6th grade. Some of you do not. Well, let's talk about it. Here is rule number 1. Rule number 1 you've actually been doing since like 1st and 2nd grade. When did you guys learn how to do 2 plus 2? Okay, so you've been doing this rule since then. If the signs are the same, you will, what would I do if the signs are the same? Add.
So smart.
Are the same, you will add. And what do I do with the sign?
Adding.
Add and keep. Keep the sign. So if the signs are the same, you will add and keep the sign. Hopefully you've heard this last year.
Yep. Maybe. I don't know. No.
All right. Spilling my water. So for example, let's do a real easy one. If I have negative 2 plus negative 2.
Negative 4.
Yes.
4.
What kind of number is the first number?
Negative.
Negative. What kind of number is the second number?
Negative.
So are they the same?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're the same, right? So you're going to add. I'm like spelling everything out right now so we have hopefully a clear understanding of what to do. So we're going to add them. It's 4. Now they're both negative, so we're going to keep it a negative. So we end up staying at negative 4. We end up staying at negative 4. All right, now let's do like a little harder problem.
Negative minus 69.
Minus?
Plus.
All right. What kind of number is the first number?
Negative.
Negative. What kind of number is the second number?
Negative.
Negative. So they're both negative, so you're going to add.
Negative 23.
So if they're both negatives, you're going to keep it a negative. Then you're going to add them. 18 plus 5? Negative 23 would be our answer. Don't forget the negative. When you tell me answers, the first thing should be negative and then 23. Some of you, make sure you tell me if it's a negative. Tell me it's a negative first. All right, one last problem. Negative 45 plus negative 17. What kind of number is the first number?
Negative.
Negative. What kind of number is the second number?
Negative.
Negative. So they're both negatives. You see how they're both ends for negatives? So we're going to add. I'm doing this for the kids who had a little trouble last year. and then you add, and what's your answer?
Negative 62.
Perfect. Love how the first thing you tell me it's negative. Very good. All right. We're okay with this?
Yes.
So this is rule number 1. So now we have rule number 2. What is rule number 2?
If they're not the same design, subtract.
And?
And keep the largest number sign. I think. Oh no, I forgot. I don't remember learning this.
Okay, I have a question for you. Alligator. Which number is bigger? Larger?
Negative 5.
No, two.
2.
2 because it's
Two's
a
bigger.
positive.
Okay. What's negative 5 plus 2? Why is it negative?
Because
Because the negative number is bigger than the positive.
No, you didn't. You just told me it's not bigger.
Oh, not like that.
because it's because
You subtract 5 from 2, and 2 is a positive. So when you put the alligator, the 2 is bigger than the 5.
Right, but my question is, why is this answer?
it's because
Because negative 5 is bigger. Not like that type.
it's
Oh no.
it's because the
bigger than
2
negative.
it's
5 is
too
bigger
small,
than 2.
so it can't. What's it called?
Because 5 is bigger than 2, miss.
Yeah, but this ain't no 5. This
It's
is
a
negative
negative
5.
5,
And this
and
is
it-
negative 5.
and it's
So
that
the
one's a
positive
positive
and the
2,
negative there.
and you the 2's not like it's bigger than the
It's-
negative 5,
Uh-huh.
but you can't do it because you have to subtract.
Okay, but why is it negative?
Because when you put negative 5, no.
It's
Tiles,
negative.
you add negative tiles, and then you put crosses. You got 1, and then you put 2, and in the negative you count how many negatives from the student.
You're on the right track, but then
So Miss.
yes.
So
Wow.
basically on the number line,
Oh.
not as the 1 in the middle, the positive to the
Uh-huh.
right, and then the negative to the left. So if the number goes to the left, which means smallest, and then when the number goes to the right, which means bigger.
Yeah, so this is on the right, so it'd be bigger, yes. But why is my answer negative?
Because the positive is smaller than the negative. So if you add a positive to a bigger negative, it's gonna be a negative. So stay the same.
Because there's more
See,
negatives
it's
than the
I'm
positives.
explaining it in.
I think I have it here. I have it here, and I've been
Yeah,
recording this whole time, so all of your answers have been recorded. So
Oh, it's not recorded though.
it is.
Oh, never mind.
It was paused because of this, but the voices were being captured. You said it.
You say.
Smart.
Okay, so say it one more time, because there's a keyword that she's using that all of us have to start using. Go ahead.
Because there's more negatives than positives.
That's
Key-
what I ju-
No. She said the key word is more. If you use the word bigger, larger, you're mathematically wrong. That's why I did the whole like eating the alligator, because negative 5 is not bigger. There's more. When you do the tallies, you were supposed to say like you end up with more negatives. I was hoping to hear that at the end, and that's why I said like, oh, I lost you at the end. Lost you at the end.
Yes, I
So
told you it's bigger, but not in that way. It's the same thing, right?
you have an F, but not in that way.
Yes, exactly. Like
Doesn't work that
thing.
way. Number 2.
I'm going crazy.
If the signs are rule 2. Sorry. If the signs are different, is it easier to think about which one's bigger, which one's smaller? Yeah, but mathematically, that's not correct. And we want to make sure that you go into high school with the correct vocabulary, the correct ideas. If the signs are different, you will subtract. So you guys knew that, which is great from 6th grade. You will subtract. And how did I write it last period? And keep the sign of the one with more. Keep the sign of the one with more. Not the larger one, not the one that came first, not the one that came second. more. Keyword is more. Make sure you use the correct terminology. Yes.
What are we gonna do in 7th grade math?
This is the beginning.
Oh.
Technically in 6th grade, technically you weren't supposed to know this rule. You were just supposed to use the number line and the tiles, and that's it. Some of you discovered the rules on your own by doing so many number lines and the tiles, and some of your teachers, it's hard not to tell you the rule. Like, oh, I just want to tell you the rule. I just want to tell you the rule. So if they did that, great. Did they teach you how to subtract?
Yeah.
Did they teach you how to multiply and divide?
I did this like in the first 2 weeks of school.
First 2 weeks of school.
Miss Vanessa taught us some 7th grade math.
I love it. It helps us here.
Like 2 weeks after, she showed us how to do it.
Good.
When did we start doing algebra? And then we did a party because
Like November, I think.
November?
Yeah, which is actually next month, if you really think about it.
No.
So,
Next month. Oh, no,
okay,
oh, I need to know.
this number. What kind of number is this?
Also,
Negative 72.
What kind of number is this?
Positive 30.
So, do you see how the letters are different now?
Yeah.
So, if the letters are different, you're going to. So, if the letters are different, if the numbers are different, you're going to subtract. So, you can subtract over here on the side. So, go ahead and subtract on the side.
That was always subtract because of the negative.
Well, there was 2 negatives the first problem, and we didn't subtract.
I know because in 6th grade when she taught us that, I always thought the negative was the subtraction, not the addition. When she put like in first like negative 16 plus 30 positive 36, I thought the negative was subtract, not negative.
That's okay, yeah. So yeah, this is a negative, not to be confused with subtraction. They each have their own use. 12 minus 6 is 6. 6 minus 3,
30.
3. Okay, so the number is 36, right?
Negative.
Why is it negative?
Because
There's more positive than negatives.
there's more negatives than positives.
Yeah.
There's more negatives. Good, there's more negatives. We all know that this one's bigger, so it's not because it's bigger, it's because there's more. And you can think of the tiles exactly in your head. All these little tiles, and what's left over are a lot of positives. A lot of positives. All right. Negative 100 plus 200.
100.
Ooh, 100.
No, it's negative 300.
All right.
Oh. You're so smart.
This one's a negative. This one's a positive. So they're different. So you're going to subtract. So if you're going to subtract, what's 200? Obviously, minus 100.
300, guys. It's 300.
Stop.
That's 100.
100.
Do you have more positives or do you have more negatives?
Positive.
More positives, so you just leave it alone. Okay, if it's positive, you just leave it alone. You don't change anything. You don't add a little positive sign. You're just done with it. Okay? Let me make sure I covered all of my... Alright. What is 40 plus negative 32?
Dad.
Are you going to add or subtract?
Subtract.
This is a positive. This is a negative, so you're going to subtract. Good. Subtract, borrow, subtract and borrow, and we get 8. You have 40 positives and 32 negatives. What do you have more of? Positives, so our answer is positive. All right, 2 more problems on your own. 1, 2. Negative 16 plus negative 3. Negative 16 plus negative 3. And negative 20 plus 4. All right, who wants to raise your hand and tell me the first answer? Okay, Tadeo, what you get?
Negative 19. No. Negative 19.
Okay, and who wants to tell me the second answer? Chris?
Negative 16.
Good. How many of you got both of those answers correct before we did? Good job. Yay us. Yay us. So, when we're dealing with bigger numbers, we need to use the rule. If the signs are the same, you add. If the signs are different, you subtract. Signs are the same, you add.
Yay, another worksheet.
Woo, yay for another life.
So that's short.
No.
Pass it, go.
Bro, hold on. I'm struggling just to get one, alright?
We just ignore. You know it's coming. So.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you.
Good. Do we do the whole back?
Yeah.
Okay. You're gonna have to do this in high school. Okay? So we want to make sure we know how to do these. Because in high school, you're gonna have to do these. And in high school, remember, we have to pass our classes in order to graduate.
But I already went to high school.
Thanks for coming back and visiting. All right, so if you're ready, go ahead and work on your own. If you need a little bit of extra help, I'm doing one problem with you, and then you're on your own. So, number one, this is the front side, negative 56. This first number is a negative. This second number is a negative. So I identify them as, are they negative, Tiffany, or are they positive? They're both negative. I write two little N's there signifying the negatives. So I know I'm going to add because they're both the same letter. So I'm going to go on the side so I don't make a mistake and add both of them. Remember, you're working ahead of me or with me.
Is that one
So what's 56 plus 19?
negative 8?
Negative
15 carry the 175.
Negative 10, yes.
And it's negative because they're both negative. So negative 75. They're both negative, so we keep it a negative. They're both negative, so we keep it a negative.
Do both sides.
Correct.
Yeah.